As you're considering what business school to go to, think around first things first, before you even think about what kind of MBA you want to get. Think around what business school you want to go to. Think around what you want to get out of your business school experience. So yes, you will have the Master of Business Administration at the end of it, but what more do you want out of the experience? In this video, I'll be sharing some of the business schools that I have interacted with, what they offer, and what you should think about when you're thinking about your MBA journey. I came back with resources, okay? So, okay, there's a lot that I have learned today, clearly. And it was really helpful to get all the details. Hey darlings, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new here, also welcome, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell to become a part of my community. My name is Nthanda Manduwi, a digital creator and media entrepreneur from Malawi, currently based in Manhattan, New York. Over the past 10 years, I've been able to build what was a simple lifestyle blog into a six-figure business. What's up, beautiful people? So I'm about to head out to the New York City MBA Tour. I'm really excited for it. We're going to start with a women's only event in the morning, and then we're going into different sessions with different universities from around the world, leading business schools. I am almost done with my Master of Science in Entrepreneurship. I don't think I would be considering an MBA because it would be quite redundant. I will explain a bit further on that, the difference between a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship and a Master of Business Administration. I think it's quite the same thing, except one is particularly about creating businesses. I'll get into details about that. Maybe I might do some videos around academia and academic or personal professional progression. But I'm really excited for this event. So, okay, I have my camera in my hand. I'm holding it up to my face. Vlogging is hard, yeah, but I'm trying. So I am about to head out to this event. I am really excited for this because I was actually invited to this event via my Instagram. So it was a promoted post, the New York City MBA Tour is coming, you're invited. And the best part, it was free, so of course I signed myself up. I'm gonna go there. There's 10 leading business schools, and even better, there is a women's only breakfast that's happening right before the event. So it starts at 9 a.m, which is kind of exciting. So I like the idea that they are looking to have a women's specific event to accommodate obviously women, because we are underrepresented in these sectors. So I'm looking forward to networking with them, but also more learn ideas. I'm exploring if I'm going to proceed with my journey in academia. Like, do I want to do a PhD or not? I am leaning towards more doing a PhD, but I'm still conflicted around, do I want to do a PhD in business, like more business economics, or do I want to go the media psychology route? Like, I could go either way at this point, and it's a big decision that I have to make. So I am looking forward to networking with them and learning more about the programs that they have, so I can also make a better decision to say, does advancing my career in the business route make more sense for me, or do I want to specialize in media? I will talk more at length around why that conflict for me, because it means it also speaks to what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, do I want to stay in the media sector, or do I see myself more maybe going the public sector, public service, political route? So this is going to be a defining thing for me. So this is really exciting for me to get there, network with everybody. Also, living in New York City, I get to network with a lot of creative people, which is amazing. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of young people doing so many amazing things. But I have not really had the opportunity to network with people in academia. So this is going to be really exciting because I know the people who are coming here are specifically academics that are looking to progress in their academic journey. So that's going to be super, super exciting for me. So I wanted to bring you guys along and get to, show you some of the things that are going to be happening. I am really, really excited for this event. And when I come back, I am going to share with you everything I have learned for those of you who are looking to either do an MBA or just progress in your master's or even PhD journey. So I'll be sharing that with you once I'm back. But for now, let's go! The GMAC MBA Tour was hosted in New York City, in Manhattan, at the Westin in Times Square.
They gave me a $10 discount on my Uber ride to get there, which was really amazing because it was freezing cold outside. There were 38 schools present, 38 universities, 38 leading business schools present, interacting with all of us, all young people that were there. So we started with a women's only breakfast that was funded by the Forte Foundation. It was free for all the women that were there. There were about 50 to 60 women in the room. We had some previous beneficiaries and other leading women in business that had keynotes sharing on their experiences and the importance of having women in leadership and in CEO positions. It was really incredible to network with them, and then after that we had an interaction with all the schools and all the different people that were around. What's up, beautiful people? I am back from the event. The event started at 9 a.m. and it went all the way around 2:30 p.m. So, well, the other part of the event started at, should have been 11. So it was 11 to 2:30, so that was 3.5 hours. But we had the women's networking event, which was sponsored by the Forte Foundation. So that was 2 hours before, so I've kind of been there for like 5.5 hours. I came back with resources, okay? So, okay, there's a lot that I have learned today, clearly. And it was really helpful to like get all the details. There were, I think, they said about 30 schools. Maybe it was 30. I think maybe I didn't interact with all of them. I think, but it was definitely more than 10. So it was quite insightful. Most of them were quite in agreement about what an MBA is and what it is for. But more so maybe their differences were the specialties, like why should you take this type of degree as opposed to the other one. I'm actually thinking right now, it's funny, because I was looking at Cornell Tech. It's right, like I can see it from my window. Like I didn't know what that was. It's on Roosevelt Island. So that's one of the universities that were there. We had Johns Hopkins, the ones I talked to. I talked to Johns Hopkins. I talked with Boston University. They have a really interesting PhD program that I might consider. Cornell Tech, I did interact with them. Cambridge University, Georgia Tech, George Washington University. So there were several of them that I got to interact with, and it was really informative. So I wanted to do this quick video on what to expect from an MBA and if an MBA is for you. Now, just so you know, I am completing my Master of Science in Entrepreneurship. So one of the key things I was also very curious about was, having done a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship, is an MBA valuable to somebody like me? I am leaning towards the PhD path in time, not immediately. But I wanted to know if an MBA would be of value to me. So, because I have an idea of what an MBA is, but I wanted to understand the real details in it to know if it would be for me. Okay, so quickly, a brief about the event. The event was hosted by the GMAC. That's a Graduate Management Admissions Council. That is, they run the GMAT and the other types of tests. So that's the GMAT, the test that we take when we're applying to get into universities. So the Graduate Management Admissions Council hosted this event. Well, they host a lot of these tours around the world, engaging young people that are looking to take the MBA route or just master's journeys and even maybe PhD journeys. So briefing you and getting you to interact with these universities and briefing you about what programs they offer and what would be best for your career. Today's event was in particular about MBAs. So it's the MBA Tour. This was the New York version. They're going to do one in Boston. I did interact with the team, so they said they have done some around the world, some in Africa. So I'm going to try to find out details about their website and possibly link them in the details below on what you can find out and where you can get this information. So I asked them a lot of questions, especially personal to me, about the value of an MBA and why one person would want to do an MBA. So if you're thinking around, is an MBA for you? Maybe this video might be for you. I'm going to do a whole separate video on the difference from an MBA, from a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship, or just a specialized Master of Science. I hope that will be helpful, and I'm going to link it up above when it's done. But this video is just going to be, is an MBA for you? So basically understanding what an MBA is and if it's good for you. MBA means Master of Business Administration. Ideally, you want to have your bachelor's already, but you also want to have some professional experience. One of the first things you want to think about is what business school to go to. You want to think about the size of the business school, their history, what programs they have to offer, and what their alumni have gone ahead to do after acquiring their MBA. Now, speaking of MBAs, there's so many business schools around the world that offer them. The main reason why one would want to take an MBA or one would want to study for an MBA is to truly understand how to manage a business. So from what I understood today, an MBA gives you an oversight of a business that already exists, right? Which is going to be different from, like, you know, a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship. So when you have an MBA experience, you're dealing with businesses that already exist. Ideally, you would take an MBA when you want to rise in the corporate ladder. You're trying to manage, a business and go higher. You want to learn and have proper detailed oversight, what it means to run a business and the actual technical parts, all the moving parts of a business. So while studying an MBA, you understand the big picture of the business and you get to understand all the little moving factors. When I think of moving factors, I mean all the different departments, hiring people, managing people, even making profits, making money and all of that. So you get an overview of what it means to run a business. And something that I found really interesting about all these business schools is they have a very practical model. So you get to join in as you're studying for your MBA and you get a lot of practical experience working with real companies. I think some of them had they call them studios. Some of them have other organizations or companies that bring their problems and you kind of problem solved. So real life businesses in the world and getting that kind of experience in the classroom. Speaking of an MBA, you also get the opportunity to specialize. So because you're trying out all different things, you get to experience a business from a management perspective, a marketing perspective, a technical perspective. You can choose which area you want to specialize in. So ideally, an MBA is a good space for you to understand how the corporate world works, the different roles they're in, and therefore to find a position for yourself. Maybe if you haven't specialized yet, to say I think I enjoy marketing more, I enjoy product management more, or I enjoy this a little bit more. An MBA is also an opportunity for you to pivot your career. So for example, I'll give you an example of myself. I have a background in economics and in demography. Doing my master's, I pivoted to entrepreneurship because I was running a startup and running a business. So doing your postgrad ideally is an opportunity to either specialize further into what you did in your bachelor's or pivot your career in a totally different way. Another value of an MBA, as you're thinking of whether an MBA is for you, is they provide you with a great alumni network. So when you have an alumni network, you interact with people from different backgrounds. As you grow professionally, even after having graduated, or people that graduated before you, you always have people that have gone through the same corridors with you, and that network is going to be great for you professionally. So if you're looking to grow your professional network, an MBA just might be for you. Speaking of the network, the alumni network, you can get opportunities to have internships in either organizations that hired maybe previous graduates, or maybe even startups that have been started by, previous graduates. So you can get the opportunity to intern with them, within that network, or beyond internship, you can even be hired by these different types of firms. Another thing to think about when you think of an MBA, when you go to a smaller as opposed to a big business school, actually people usually think maybe I want to go to a big business school and build a bigger network. But bigger doesn't always mean more value. From what they said today, it was like if you have a smaller community, it's more closely knit. Therefore, you know each other better. You actually get to know each other by name and all of that. So that might even be of value to you. So as you're thinking of whether you want to go to a big or a small business school, think around, the big school obviously means more accreditation, more trust, but also a small business school might just be for you, so you get to create that really closely knit community. As you apply for your MBA, also understand that there are different types of MBAs. As I said, there are different specialties. For example, today we had Johns Hopkins, which specializes mostly in health. So you can go there and do, an MBA, but mostly your experience would really be health related. You can think of for example, Cornell University, again, that I'm referencing now. So for Cornell University, they're tech based and they're really tech specialized. So all these MBAs have different specialties and you can get to specialize and pivot your career. As you're applying for your MBA, also look at the other things that the business school does offer to its learners. So think around, do they have, for example, if you are into the startup world, do they have accelerated programs for people with innovative ideas? Do they have communities? What are the things that they're offering beyond just this MBA program? And as you're thinking around whether an MBA is for you, the last thing to consider is that an MBA is for personal development. So maybe you did study, you did economics like me, or you did, maybe agribusiness. Whatever you studied, so you're looking to say, I want to actually get practical experience of how does corporate work. So an MBA is great for personal development. If you already have skill sets, you specialize in a different field, but you now want to understand what it really means to manage a business. That's all I had to share for this video. I hope you found the information helpful. Check out my next video where I'll be comparing an MBA to a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship, the similarities, but also the differences in these 2 degree programs.
Thank you so much for watching the video. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Subscribe to my newsletter so you can get a weekly dose of entrepreneurship, lifestyle, and self-care insights so we can glow and grow together. Follow me on social media so we can stay in touch. I'll be seeing you very soon. Until then, stay kind.